is good, YouTube? It's your boy Dio for President back again with another video. And today we are reacting to Gen Z is quitting dating apps. Me personally, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I will say I I'm on Hinge, Bumble, and Tinder. I'm on the big three. I'm not going to lie. However, though, I don't like me personally right now. I don't get any luck. It's not that fun for me. Dating as a overall, not that fun. But then again, I will say I've been diving into like the whole like body game, the whole body game side of YouTube. So I've been going to the gym, as you guys can see. And who knows, maybe when I get to like 10% body fat, then okay, my dating life might change. But let's see what's going on in the video.
Has never been easier, or so you
And yo, subscribe, please.
thought. Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Field. There's a platform for everyone, yet no one seems happy. What was supposed to make love simpler has just made people lonelier. And Gen Z has had enough. They're logging off of dating apps in droves, and maybe they're onto something. Are they rejecting hookup culture, algorithmic romance, or something deeper?
I feel like meeting people in real life is like the best thing ever, bro. This whole internet thing is not it at all.
On today's episode of the Infographic Show, we're looking at why Gen Z is swiping left on dating apps. Let's start with a fact that anyone who has used a dating app can relate to. They're exhausting. Dating apps were supposed to be a fun way to meet singles in your area, people you might never have interacted with otherwise. But in reality, they've become a way to discover that most singles near you can't hold a conversation, or only know the word hey, or are actually married with 3 kids, a nice surprise on your third date. They feel like a chore, and that's because they are. According to Statista, an April 2024 survey found that millennials spent almost 56 minutes a day on dating apps.
Interesting. I wonder how long I spend a day on dating. Like, it definitely isn't up to 56 minutes. Like, I just swipe, and I'm done. But I think when I was younger, I would be on them a bit longer, though. You know? Let me not lie. Let me not lie and say I don't get any luck on dating apps. Like, I get matches, but it doesn't lead to anything. I've had some situations where I've taken girls out on dates. But then, did it lead to anything? Nah, not really.
Gen Z?
That's what I mean by I have no luck. But then, apparently some people don't even get no matches. And that's extremely tough.
Almost 50. That's 7 hours a week devoted to a dating strategy, which doesn't include actually meeting someone. And the strategy is mostly unsuccessful, as you'll soon see. But believe it or not, that's actually an improvement over 2018. Back then, Badu surveyed 5,000 people aged 18 to 30 and found that men spent an average of 85 minutes a day on dating apps. Meanwhile, women spent 79. That's roughly half an hour less today for the same generation. So it seems that everyone is getting sick of them. Endless swiping, endless ghosting, and hundreds of conversations that go literally nowhere. And that is not the bitterness talking.
You see? Exact same thing I said. Like, the conversations go nowhere. I feel like I said, meeting someone in real life is the best thing ever. Meeting someone and things blossoming from there. But then I don't know, our generation really does feel like we are moving away from like the whole in real life thing.
Statistics. The Stanford University School of Medicine found that 50% of people on dating apps will never go on a date through them. Not because they don't get a match, because they don't want to. They're on the dating apps, but they're not looking for a date. So what are they using them for? According to Elias Abuja-Ude, a clinical professor of psychiatry and behavioral sciences, people said that they use dating apps for everything from feeling socially connected to simple entertainment and distraction. Some people actually said that they used it as a coping mechanism for negative emotions.
Yeah, bro. People have told me that they use it for validation sometimes. Like, they're not serious on there. You feel me?
Next time you get ghosted, at least now you know it's boosting someone else's ego.
Yeah.
Feel better now? Well, that means the other half of the people are looking for a relationship, right? Or at least a date? It turns out, no. Because the same study found that around 65% of Tinder users are in a relationship. Some are even married.
Whoa. 65% of Tinder users are in a relationship. Whoa.
Great waste of time for everyone on the apps looking for a commitment. Even among single people, finding a date on a dating app feels like finding a needle in a haystack.
To be fair, hold on. When I was 18, I was in a relationship and I had Tinder. For like 2 days though.
For every 285 online
Maybe I'm part of the problem.
matches, you can expect at most one in-person sexual or romantic meeting. Stats that get worse by the year. Which is weird because finding a date is the real reason dating apps exist. So imagine going to a supermarket 285 times to have a shot of finding some food. 80% of Tinder users said
That's crazy. When you put it that way, it's like, what even is the point of having the app? Wow, that's true. This video might make me delete this bullshit, bro.
that they had never had sex with anyone they met on Tinder. And only 1 in 4 people met someone that they would even consider for a relationship, most of which didn't work out that way. Apps have made people so cynical. This much ghosting and rejection would make even Romeo and Juliet swear off romance. The study asked nearly 1,400 Tinder users of all ages to rate their dating app experience. Their satisfaction with Tinder, 2.39 out of 5. With their dates from Tinder, 3.05 out of 5. Those are failing grades. If you see a restaurant with a 3 out of 5 rating on Google, you're probably not going. Or maybe you'll just like spending all night on the toilet. One 26-year-old user, Julia, spoke out about why apps have become terrible. She says it used to be that you would match with someone cute, talk for a while, and grab drinks that week. Now it's more like you match, you take days to respond to each other, and
Bro, real. I wish it was as simple as that, you match, be like, yo, what you saying? Would you like to go out? But no. You can match with someone and they are not even going to respond to your message. And this goes both ways. This goes for men and women.
eventually forget why you liked them in the first place.
Mostly men. Let's calm down. Mostly men, though. I can't lie.
Why are the conversations so bad? Harvard has the answer. Also, we didn't really know that so many prestigious institutions were looking into dating apps. It turns out the answer is boredom. Most people get on dating apps when they're bored. But you know what happens when you're bored? You are also boring. Which is why 99% of dating app conversations start with, hey. As the study says, this heightened boredom coupled with the inherent unrealness of connection on dating apps drives ghosting and flaking. Spending an hour a day to get such boring, frustrating mid-results? It's not surprising that Gen Z is ditching them. In 2023, Axios surveyed 1,000 college-age people and found that 79% were not using dating apps regularly. Anyone following the markets shouldn't be surprised. In 2023, Match Group, the parent company of Tinder and Hinge, saw its share price plummet by 68%, mostly because investors were worried about the dip in paid users for the apps. And the situation has only gotten worse since then. Between May 2023 and 2024, Tinder lost 594,000 users.
Bro, people actually be paying for Tinder, bro. I know people be paying for Tinder and Bumble and all of that. Have I ever paid? I don't think I have. No.
Bumble lost 368,000 and Hinge lost 131,000. And we doubt that it's because everyone is finding love. Maybe that's why Gen Zers are not meeting people via apps anymore.
People download the app and delete it and download it and delete it. Like, people delete their accounts and make new ones, So I really feel like that stat is not accurate. The thing about these apps is that, like, okay, cool, you get on the app, and when you get on the app, you get a couple of matches, but then after a while, you get nothing. You feel me? So, like,
Let's be honest, since it's Gen Z, maybe
So people just end up, like, deleting the app and then downloading it again so that they can get, like, new matches.
they're not meeting people at all. The Kinsey Institute surveyed 2,000 single adults on dating behavior. Only 21.2% of Gen Z said the apps were the primary way of meeting people. 58% said they focused on in-person meetings instead. They're even reverting to even more old-fashioned methods than that, like matchmaking. Matchmaker Germany Fox told Pop Sugar, "My Gen Z clients say they come to me because dating apps are dead. The waters are polluted and they are getting ghosted or catfished. A 2023 Statista survey backs this Gen Z attitude up. Even though more Gen Zers than millennials are single, the latter are overrepresented on dating apps. Millennials between 30 and 49 made up 61% of dating app users. Only 26% of all users were Gen Z, and almost everyone is reporting app burnout. People were asked to list their top reasons for being done with the apps. The most common reason was simple: people just couldn't find a real connection. 40% of respondents said that was their biggest issue. 35% said they were disappointed by the people they met. 27% were tired of constant rejection. And 24% were sick of the endless loop of,
What do I feel? I feel I can try and feel connection. Rejection, I hear it. Because some people can match with you just to match with you, and then, no response to you. In fact, there was a time that I matched with a girl and she literally told me that I was not her type. Didn't make any sense. Same conversations. Yeah, I hear it. Disappointments. I mean, but I do feel like I can connect with people though. I don't know. That might be a bad thing because how can I connect with someone that I'm not seeing in real life? Like, it's just as good as talking to AI sometimes. But then with some people, they tell me some things, and I can't lie. Sometimes I'm like, I feel you.
hey, what's up? Conversations. But what about the Gen Zers using those apps? Those who haven't given up yet. According to surveys, less than half even enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
And that's not surprising considering how jaded dating apps make people. In the past, if things didn't click with your friend's coworker, or it didn't work out with that guy from your running group, you had to deal with it face to face. But it was the decent thing to do. But skipping that talk would make things pretty awkward the next time you saw your friend or showed up to the running group. But now, ghosting seems to be the way to go on dating apps. They have created a very low commitment, high pressure environment. When you meet 10 different people in person over
Low commitments, high pressure is very, very real. Because the pressure to like, oh my gosh, this is going to work out, blah, blah, blah. But who's committed? Like, no one is committed. Nobody gives a shit.
a few months, you actually have time to get to know them and see them all as real people. On dating apps, you've swiped through 10 times that many people while waiting for a YouTube ad to finish. They don't feel real. They're just a collection of photos and words.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's why 84% of Gen Z and millennials have been ghosted. Unsurprisingly, they don't feel great about it. But 61% of millennials and 77% of Gen
I don't take ghosting deep anymore, bro. Like if I've never met you in real life, I don't take it that deep anymore. It's just like whatever. And if I just met you, if I meet you and it's only been like a month or a couple of months, like I don't take it too deep because you don't owe me no loyalty. We just met. And that's if I meet you in real life. If I haven't met you, then I don't owe you nothing. That's how people be moving. And I understand it.
Zers have also admitted to ghosting others. Even though we know how bad we feel when we experience it, we don't feel so bad that we won't do it to others. 86% of people who ghosted others said they felt relief. Less than half of them regretted it. Of course, there are situations where ghosting is appropriate, like abusive or dangerous ones. But most people who reported ghosting said they did it to end the relationship or avoid stress and confrontation. Psychologists now call it reciprocal ghosting. Dr. Alexander Alvarado says, once people experience the discomfort of being ghosted, they might unconsciously adopt the same behavior as a self-defense mechanism. And dating apps have made it easier than ever for people to ghost. Because what's the person you stood up to gonna do? They might not even have your contact information. At worst, they'll send you an annoyed text that you can just ignore before blocking them. Young daters actually agree. 2 out of 3 think ghosting is a byproduct of online dating. 1 in 4 say they have been ghosted after the first date or 2. 1 in 10 say they've been ghosted after a few months of dating. Of course, dating apps themselves haven't made it any easier. They used to be free, but now, just like everything else online, they've become heavily paywalled and monetized.
Damn, that's tough.
You may have heard the rumors that if you don't pay for premium subscriptions, the app won't show you the best matches for you. It turns out the rumors might be true. Gizmodo tech journalist Thomas Germain spoke about them after studying dating apps for a year.
You guys, should I pay for Tinder and Bumble and all that bullshit and like make a video about like my experience? Because like right now, if I'm being real, I think I got like one match today. or one like or something. But then my man, I'm like, how is it possible that like it doesn't make sense? I'm like, how is it possible that I only get one? You know, right now it says I have 18 likes. Like, and in my mind, I'm like, how?
Dating apps will often rank how attractive
Maybe if I paid, I'll get more.
you are after you join. They use a combination of your profile photos and how attractive the people who swipe on you are to determine that. It's weird to think that some algorithm is rating you an LA6, but here we are in 2025. But many people have found something strange. The app will go out of its way to not show you people that it thinks are in your league of hotness, unless you pay. So you're basically dating down unless you get a subscription, and those aren't cheap.
This has to be only for the guys, bro. This is like being a man. This is man tax. You know, it's only for the guys.
The first tier of premium services costs between $10 and $50 a month, depending on which app you use. Hinge, for example, offers Hinge Plus for $32.99 a month, but you can also get Hinge X for $49.99. For those prices, you can like as many profiles as you want and see everyone who has liked you, so you already know who's interested. With the free version, you can only like 8 people total. Jermaine says many of his sources using the free versions of dating apps have noticed some shady tactics. For example, on Hinge, once you have liked 8 people, the next profile you see, the one you can't like without paying, is often the most attractive yet. It could be a coincidence, but it wouldn't be out of line with all the other unethical things the dating apps do for money. In 2022, Consumers International found that Tinder was charging 30 to 49-year-old people up to 6 times more for its premium features than users between 18 and 29.
Damn. What? Ha.
The app banked on the idea that older users would be more serious about dating and desperate for matches.
And they would have more money
if you
too.
really want a date, Tinder and the other apps can offer you much more. For money equal to a month's rent, Tinder has an upgrade called Tinder Select that costs $499 a month. But that is nothing compared to The League, an app that is geared toward people with prestigious education backgrounds and ambitious careers. The VIP options of The League cost almost $2,500 a month.
What? Just to date?
That is $30,000 a year, Gen Z's starting salary. And what do you get for that? You can check dating opportunities in up to 10 different cities, have weekly speed dates, and consult with your own personal concierge for dating advice. Honestly, just pay a matchmaker at that point. And that's not even touching all the microtransactions that the apps push you toward. You accidentally swiped left on someone you liked? Want to go back to their profile? Upgrade or pay for a rewind. Hoping you get bumped to the top of someone's feed? Send them a rose, and if you act now, you can get 3 for only $9.99. Want a better...
Bro, you guys, we're buying digital roses now, bro. We're buying like roses on our phones. What?
chance of a person you like seeing you? Maybe you should be your best, most authentic self and have a cool profile that reflects that. The answer is pay for a boost. Okay, that'll be $7.99 on Tinder. Some apps won't even let you use them unless you pay a subscription fee, especially those that consider themselves more exclusive and advertise better matches, like Raya, $24.99 a month, and The League at $99.99 a week. Others hike their rates over time. They'll send you a notification about it, but amongst the 3,000 junk emails in your inbox, you could easily miss it. For a generation that's already struggling with rent and the cost of living, it's just too pricey. That $50 a month you're spending to slowly kill your sense of hope and romance could be going to something far more fulfilling.
Like tacos, bro. Tacos are not better than sex, but then, you know, buying a taco is a way better idea than buying some online rose to give to somebody that might not even respond to your message, bro.
Like tacos. And to be fair, some of the reasons behind the paywalls and such are to keep scammers and catfishes out. After all, only the dating apps are allowed to scam you. But there is a safety aspect too. Unfortunately, dating apps have failed hard at keeping scammers out, just like they have failed hard in their purpose in the first place.
Yeah.
A Forbes Health survey found that 38% of dating app users have been catfished. Forbes Health Advisory Board member and sex therapist, Dr. Span says, the impact of catfishing can cause psychological, physical, and emotional harm. And if that's not enough, there's also the constant dating app fatigue and burnout. After catfishing, people also reported issues with malicious links, leading to viruses on their device or flat out identity theft. All in all, 15% of those who took the survey said that they had been targeted by cyber criminals. With all of that fraud going on, 38% of survey respondents said they were afraid to use dating apps for all those reasons. Another 34% said that they do use them, but they generally don't trust the people they talk to on the app. For a generation raised with pretty good digital literacy, those risks aren't really worth it. Even if your match isn't pretending to be someone else, they can still be lying about a lot of important things. 21% of adults lie about their age on dating apps, with men
Bro, for real?
being slightly more likely to lie than women, 23% versus 19%. Of dating app users, 14% admit to lying about income, another 14% about hobbies and interests, which is why your last "I love cooking" date almost set your kitchen on fire.
Interesting. Lie about income, I hear that. Lie about hobbies.
Another 13% lie about their employment and dating history.
People lie about their height a lot. Me personally, I put 5'9". You know, that's how tall I am. If you see me and you don't like it, then then I'm not the guy for you. Simple.
Or dating present, which is an even bigger problem. And lastly, 12% of users lie about their height. Some people on apps will be very direct though, some might say too direct. The chances of harassment on apps are way too high. Nothing kills the search for romance like a steady stream of junk pics. According to the Pew Research Center, 38% of people on dating apps have received sexually explicit messages or images they never wanted. And meeting fun strangers you wouldn't otherwise come across sounds great.
That's crazy. Girls actually, there was a period in time where people would do, I feel like, I don't know about now, but I feel like in the 2010s, people were sending nudes a lot, at least where I was. And I just feel like it was just a thing, especially in high schools. But it's crazy how some of my homegirls back then would tell me, oh my gosh, I get so many dick pics, I get so many, and in my mind I'm like, damn, people just send you pictures of their dicks and they're like, yeah. I'm like, that's crazy.
Until you offhandedly mention where you like to get lunch and then see them the next day in a corner staring at you. The Australian Institute of Criminology surveyed almost 10,000 app users, and they found that 72.3% were victims of online sexual violence within the past 5 years. That ranged from repeated explicit images being sent to being threatened or verbally abused. The study also unfortunately found that 1 in 3 users had been the victims of in-person sexual violence via people they met on the apps.
Oh, that's not good. That is not good. I was going to say this is why it's good to meet people in real life, but that doesn't matter. Even the people in real life can sexually assault you. Women have it tough sometimes. Women have it kind of tough. Damn.
There's another depressing reality about life on the apps. Most people won't do really well on them. The majority of swipes, likes, and attention on apps goes to a very small percentage of users, the hot ones. It makes most people on the apps feel excluded. And while that's usually presented as a guy problem on the apps, it's actually not much better for girls. Sure, women will on average get way more matches, but that's just because many men are swiping right on almost everyone. According to Swipe Stats, women swipe right on about 5% of profiles. Men, 53%. Add to that the fact that more than 75% of global Tinder users are male, and you end up with a much harder marketplace for men than women, which partly depends on the area. Europe has a nearly even split. Meanwhile, US Tinder is about 65% male, and Indian Tinder is 90% male.
Whoa. Indian Tinder is 90% male. That is a crazy statistic.
But once the matches are in place, things aren't that much better for women, or men, honestly. Men will be about 2 out of every 100 matches, women closer to 1.7. One thing is universally true for both genders. If you want a lot of matches, you better be hot. The University of Amsterdam found that improving your photo by 1 standard deviation of attractiveness improves your matching rate from 25% to 43%.
Yeah, that's why I've been in the gym, bro. I've been in the gym. You feel me? I've been in the gym, and if this doesn't work, then I'm actually going to give up.
People must care about who you are as well, though, right? Turns out, Not really. Improving your bio only improves your matching rate by 2%. This very superficial
Bro, the most important thing is looks. I promise you. Don't let anybody tell you personality is important. It is to a degree, but the most important thing is how you look, bro. I've seen people tolerate some crazy disrespect, just because they found the person attractive. Even I have, you know, even I have. Looks are very, very important.
approach to dating is a huge turnoff for Gen Z, a generation that puts a lot of emphasis on authenticity. And it's not just us saying that. A survey by Ernst & Young found that 92% of Gen Z values being authentic and true to oneself. But let's just say you get through all of these dating app challenges and obstacles. You have matched with someone. They responded to your message. After a few days of chatting, you set a date, and they actually show up. Then, nothing. No spark, no chemistry. You sit through a 3-course dinner that feels like homework, when you could have used your one night out to see your friends, or just lying under a warm blanket falling asleep to a rerun of The Office. Both of which sound
Meeting people in real life is the best possible way to go, man. Everything else is just not it.
like better plans than the one you're currently doing. Maybe that's why 53% of people still said they met their last date at a bar. As one Gen Z man, Jason, shares, you get a real sense of who someone is, their style, what perfume they're wearing, whether they can hold a conversation. It's something you can't do on the apps.
That's true, but like, I don't drink. Like I actually like okay now like I don't drink. So what do I do? Cooked.
Meeting someone in real life gives you a lot more information about them. The initial questions of, do we have chemistry? Do I like the way they talk and smell? Do they pick their nose in public settings?
Real.
Have already been answered. Not to mention, if you meet someone in real life, it's likely to be through a friend, a job, or a hobby, meaning you already know you have something in common. But the problem goes beyond just dating apps. Gen Z is getting burned out, and not only because of overwork and finances, but burned out on screens and the digital world in general. The generation that has had an iPad since childhood is absolutely over it. They wasted too much of their time in high school and college scrolling TikTok, and now they want to get back to life in the real world, which is why 57% of Gen Z would rather ditch the apps and meet in person. Because just like someone's social media profile, everything about a person's dating profile is curated. Are they actually athletic and love the outdoors? Or did they go on one hike a year ago and just put that in their profile because they think it sounds attractive? Do they love books, or did they just open one once and have their roommate take a candid picture of them? Also, were their pictures taken anytime in
Real. So real. So real.
the last decade? Oh, they like travel and coffee and pizza? Great, that makes them totally different from everyone else in the world. There's also another point almost no one considers. Gen Z may not be using dating apps because they're just not dating as much to begin with. People feel much less pressured to settle down and get married than they did just a couple of decades ago.
Yeah, the pressure of getting married is not really there, bro. Like, I think when I was younger, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to make so much money so that I can get married. Now I'm like, I need to make so much money so that I can live my best life. Like, right now, I try and, when I get money from work, I just do what I want with it, I'm not really, like, of course I save, invest, all that good stuff, pay my bills, but like, dating, like, I went on a date, and this is a new thing for me now. Like, the last time I went on a date, the girl told me that she liked guys that were in their 50s, bro. And it had me like, why did you even agree to go out with me? So now I'm just like, you know what, the whole dating thing, I'm actually like tired of it. Other guys can do that. I'll give that to them. But me, I just want to, like, what do I like playing basketball, I like playing video games, I like going to the gym, I like eating good food. That's what I do with my time and my money now. I like making YouTube videos. That's what I do with my time and my money now.
Start with, the U.S. Census Bureau found that in 2022, 34% of people over the age of 15 had never been married. In 1950, that number was 23%. So staying single is becoming more normalized. 40% of Gen Z and millennials also think marriage is an outdated tradition. Maybe that's why 17% aren't planning on getting married at all. That doesn't mean that Gen Z will be a fully single generation, obviously. It just means that they can envision a happy life that doesn't
Bro, does this babe have no legs? Oh, never mind. No, she has legs. My bad. I don't know if you guys can see what I see, but it's all good.
involve a relationship. There's also a large segment of Gen Z that is not dating, not due to choice, but fear. Hinge found that over half of Gen Z daters didn't pursue a potential relationship due to a fear of rejection or being cringe. Another reason, Gen Z isn't in a great place. A lot of people are broke or have major debt.
Bro, lots of people don't have money, man. Me being one of them, bro.
63% of Gen Z say they feel judged or embarrassed about how they manage money, whether it's the debt they're carrying or the money they don't make. That doesn't just make dating harder. How do you go to a nice restaurant or a bar with no cash? It also makes many feel undateable before the date even starts. The result of all of this is a generational pivot. And honestly, it might be for the best. Millennials embraced dating apps as revolutionary, and increasingly isolated work and friend culture.
Bro, what is this, bro? This is what's this is what's I don't even know what to say.
Made meeting people in real life more difficult. So apps seemed like a solution. But Gen Z is already walking away. And if the trend continues, the billion-dollar dating app industry may be forced to reinvent itself.
Yeah, I'm going to end the video there. Let me know what you guys think about the video. Me personally, when it comes to dating apps, like, after this video, I think I'm going to delete mine. I can't lie, bro. And I'm not even saying that to be cliche. Like, I just think I'm going to delete it because there's no point. Well, more times than not, when I get a match, I'm sometimes disgusted by the match. I'm like, ew, you don't take care of yourself. You're not trying, and some people might look at me and feel the exact same way. But anyways, you guys, that's the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm coming through every single day.